Everything changes, or so they say. How many times have you found yourself saying, man, why did that have to change? I liked it the way it was. Well, here's the story. Everything changes. Hey everyone, Dr. Jones here with another one of your weekly messages. And this week, I want to talk about the idea of change and how it's often unavoidable, even within ourselves. You see, oftentimes situations change, whether it's what's happening, whether it's what used to happen. People change, how they used to act, how they used to behave, and what friend groups they were in, or even colleagues for that matter. But we often view change as something external. We don't see it as ourselves changing, and then it becomes very uncomfortable for us to adapt to any new situation that comes along. We often look to point our finger, to blame, to say what's wrong with that situation. Well, one of the ways we can do that differently is to make sure that we change as little as possible. So what do I mean by that? Because I'm saying that everything has to change. The way we deal with change, or can deal with change, is to make sure that one thing doesn't change: our core values. If we take the time to identify what our core values truly are and stick with those, don't change according to what's happening around us, but only by our core values and how closely we hold those, then we'll find that often change is welcome. It's something different. It's a new opportunity for us to continue to grow. Take, for example, situations. If we happen to be in a situation where we're comfortable, it works for us, we like it because it matches our core values, and then something in that situation changes, where it moves away from our core values, well, we could stamp our feet, complain, and get upset, or we could realize that it's time for us to move to another situation. It's time for us to make a decision as to whether we want to go back on our core values, which I recommend we don't ever make that decision, or we deal with that change by finding a situation that is in line with our core values, or even better, creating one. Think of friend groups, right? People change based on the influences around them. Now, the whole idea is we are the average, or become the average, of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So if that group of friends is not in line with your core values, you need to find a new group to hang around with and spend most of your time with. Otherwise, our values in turn will change to meet the group's core values. Now, sometimes that works. You see lifelong friends that work out great because they all have the same core values. But if they don't, it's okay to find new friends. It's okay to join new friend groups based on core values that we hold and where we want to be and how we want to act. You see, change is inevitable. The only way to deal with it in a comfortable fashion is to make sure that we don't change our core values. And we do that by identifying what our core values are. Try this exercise. How many of you right now, listening to this video, can write down your top 3 core values? What's important to you? What is the most important thing you want to exude or that you want to live within? Go ahead, write it down. Can you do it? Well, if not, there's no failing this test as long as you now think about what those core values are, write them down, internalize them, embody them, and then get comfortable with the inevitable change that's going to occur as you stick to them. Thanks for listening. That's all I've got for you this week. Change is inevitable. Make sure that you are comfortable in that change because you're true to yourself and not necessarily changing internally. Remember, be purposeful, act with integrity, and continue to build your character. You have a great week.